Hello and welcome back to the Mini Motorways Weekly Challenge. And this week the weekly challenge is in Warsaw, and we are looking at this week having all up front, which means you start with 150 road tiles and no further road tiles are offered. That sounds tough. We've also got big business, which means some colours of destinations are always circles. That also sounds a bit tough because I'm assuming that means we just will have to deal with more circles than normal. And trove of traffic lights start with 4 traffic lights. I'd say that's of minimal use to us. So yeah, might be kind of a tricky one this week, but let's go in and try it out. And already we seem to have our first circle destination, because I think normally destinations don't spawn as circles. So dark blues are always going to be circular, I guess. And even in this early game I'm trying to be quite frugal with my road tiles, because I'm aware that they are a finite resource. We've already used 20 of them. That's not a small portion. Obviously motorways are always important in mini motorways, but I feel like they're going to be especially important in this one with a limited amount of road tiles. And also roundabouts probably be way more important, because being able to have cars cross over lanes is going to be quite useful. Like even here we're probably using a few more road tiles by the fact that we're coming round this round guy, whereas potentially we'd use less if we came down here and we could have a roundabout to keep everyone flowing. So I've definitely got my eyes peeled for roundabouts and motorways as we go forward into the end of the week and get our prizes. And week 1, traffic lights or roundabout. We've already got 4 traffic lights, so I'm definitely going to take the roundabout. Okay, I'm going to connect in this little red guy that's appeared up here. It's a bit of a waste of road tiles, but this guy has gone circular, so he might be needed. Done a bit of a rearrange of these, just to try and save on the number of road tiles that each of these 2 little housing enclaves are using. We have now got 4 houses for each of these circular destinations, so that's pretty good. I was worrying they weren't going to give us enough houses despite giving us circular destinations from the offset, but seems okay so far. And this is a tough red one to try and get to. I'm going to maybe have to bring some houses kind of round here, up and round, although we don't have a bridge left, although we will when we get that one back. So yeah, I think something like this, once we get that bridge back, would be good. I could start drawing out this part of the road. Here we go. It's not the most efficient use of road tiles when you've only got 150. Definitely be looking to try and replace that with something else as soon as I can. I do have this roundabout actually, so ooh, I wonder if that could go in there, and then these guys could just come down here and then down there. Oh, and week 2 we've got another bridge or a traffic light. I would like a bridge, and I'm going to put into practice what I just said. So yeah, the only purpose of this really is to save road tiles, but I think it is going to be necessary. Otherwise I would, in the normal game, prefer to keep my colours separated, but not in this game. And I was just rearranging these ones over here to try and get this traffic light to run straight to these 3 houses and then make this little extra house the right hand turn. And in the process of that I am ignoring this light blue destination that has appeared. I might go ahead and add this into this roundabout network. I'd quite like to have these 2 have separate entrances, so probably run this up here, although that is a waste of road tiles, so I don't know, maybe I'll change that pretty soon. Could turn it into a traffic light. I would save a few. Ooh, motorway or roundabout. I'm gonna go for the motorway. That is definitely gonna save us some road tiles at some point. Actually not gonna change anything yet with it, even though I do have 3 colours sharing this roundabout, but doesn't seem totally necessary yet. And another blue destination down here. That is going to take quite a lot of road tiles, so that might be a good use of our motorway. And just rearrange these to look like this. Oh, and more keep appearing. That was a very nice yellow spawn. Right next to each other. Bridge or roundabout? Interesting choice. Both of these are going to be really useful, so I think it almost doesn't matter too much which one we pick. I'm going to go for a bridge, but I'd quite like a roundabout if it popped up again. What to do about this green spawn? That's kind of another case for a motorway. I wonder if we connect these blues in here and actually take this motorway away for a moment and have it run from this green destination to these greenhouses. It's not a great solution because 2 houses won't really be enough to support this, but I guess ideally I'd like to have 2 motorways in the long run for this. We've had a couple of new spawns. We had a green that was pretty easy to connect, and a yellow one which I'll connect in a second. Now I've got bridge or traffic lights, so I sort of wish I'd taken the roundabout the last one, but I'll go ahead and take the bridge. And I am really itching to have this red joined up to this roundabout separately, so I'm just going to do it. Maybe it's a waste of road tiles, but it makes me much happier. And this is an interesting one up here. I should be able to solve that with a bridge from this little enclave. It's a lot of road tiles, but not much I can do about that. End of week 6, choice between a motorway or a bridge. That's an easy one. I've already got a bridge, so I'll definitely be going for that motorway. I would maybe like to use that motorway to replace this long road between the light blues and their destination, but I'm worried something else is going to come up that's going to need the motorway more than that, so I will wait a minute before doing anything. Oh, and this yellow has gone circular, which means I'm definitely hankering for some more yellow houses in this area. I got one, which is good. And we've got a dark blue destination down here, so I'll give him these houses. Bridge or roundabout. This time I am gonna go for the roundabout. And we've got another need for either a long road or a motorway, and I think I'm going to pick motorway in this instance. And this green destination went circular. He's only got 3 houses supplying it, so I'm just going to keep a bit of an eye on him, see if we might need to draft in a few more. End of week 8, traffic lights or bridge. Neither are that useful right now, but I'll go bridge. Thinking that we could use these greens down here to serve this smaller green destination, and then these greenhouses could help out with this one. Oh, and that was a terrible placement for this red destination. Right on top of these light blues. Might have a bit of a pause. These reds could come in here with a roundabout in order to service this guy, and I mean, this really is terrible placement, but I could just stick a traffic light there and see how it copes, and I might do that for now. Week 9, bridge or motorway, and I'm very excited to receive another motorway because we had none in the bank. Again, probably not going to use it straight away. I'm just going to hold out and see who's more desperate for it at one point or another. And it's a pretty good place for that green destination to land, because yeah, we've got a bunch of greenhouses just here, so yeah, that's perfect. And this yellow destination has also gone circular. They are each just being served by 3 houses. I don't know how long that can last them. The houses are fairly close by, so just hoping on that one, really. Oh, we've got a new yellow destination up here. I'm generally a bit worried about how many road tiles we have. Otherwise I would say we should just... Oh no, actually we can't even get up there. Yeah, I think this is going to have to be a motorway to solve that one. Traffic lights or roundabout? I probably prefer the roundabout. Ooh, terrible placement for this pink. I have no idea which houses are going to be able to get there. I guess this one guy with a roundabout, if I can squeeze it in, yeah. That is pretty awful, for many reasons. And that green's gone circular, but to be honest, he was way oversupplied with houses already, so I'm not too worried about that. Motorway or traffic lights? I will take the motorway, thank you very much. Very conscious of the fact we have less than 20 road tiles left. this green has also gone circular. He is a little less supplied with houses, so I'll pull a few more on. 5 should be enough. Motorway or bridge, and I'll go for the motorway again. We now have 2 in the bank, so it could be time to use one up, although no one's really complaining at me, so I hesitate to do it yet. I've just redrawn that little road because I realised it could probably be made slightly more efficient. Ooh, and this red has gone circular, which is even more of a reason to hate this setup. I might have a little pause and a rearrange because I don't think it'll last very long. So I'm hoping this is going to be slightly more efficient now that the reds and blues are separated. I did that less for the road tiles. If anything, it might be slightly more expensive in terms of road tiles, but just because I think that that junction was going to turn into a mess if we left it like that. Week 13, motorway or traffic light. Yeah, again, I'll just take the motorway. They're being pretty generous with the motorways right now. And this yellow has gone circular, which might mean we need to rope in these 2 somehow. This might be a terrible idea to just connect these 2 lines like this, but I'll give it a go for now. Week 14, roundabout or bridge. I've got a couple of spare bridges, so I'll go for the roundabout. And one thing I think it could be nice to do is to use this roundabout to rearrange how this motorway and all these houses are attached. I think that just makes the road a bit cleaner. Another week gone and we can have traffic lights or a bridge. Again, we don't really need either of these. I'll go for the bridge because we've got 3 traffic lights in stock. I am keeping an eye on this roundabout, which has 3 circular destinations attached to it, and I am noticing it get a little bit busy and some of the cars queuing a bit. I'll be tempted at some point to put this light blue on a motorway with these 4 houses instead. So we do have 2 motorways in the bank. We could just go ahead and do it now. It's just if something else crops up where I suddenly need a motorway. But actually I'd still have a spare, so why don't we just try and get ahead of ourselves and make the change now. Hopefully that will improve the flow a little bit through here. And this green has gone circular. It only currently has 3 houses attached to it, so I probably should do a small rearrange and get a few more on there. Bridge or motorway, easy choice. Let's take the motorway. And we don't even really need it. Oh, okay, now we definitely need it. This red one just went circular, so gonna do a small rearrange to see where we can pull some houses from. I'm thinking up here looks pretty tasty. They're all sitting at home doing nothing. And I also kind of clawed 2 roundabouts back by doing that. Don't have much of a need for those roundabouts right now, but I'll keep my eye out. And I think I've just realised that every destination we have on the map right now is circular. Maybe that's normal for late game, but that feels a bit absurd. Traffic lights or roundabout. I will go for the roundabout. Just replace this traffic light with a little roundabout to keep the flow of traffic going. There might be a couple of other spots we could do that potentially. And the more I look at what I've done down here, the more I just really hate it, so I'm taking a quick pause to redo a couple of things and also make the most of this dark blue guy that's just appeared. Week 18, motorway or bridge, easy choice, we will take the motorway. At this point, this red and this dark blue are the only two colours that are still sharing a road, I believe, and because we have 2 spare motorways, I'm tempted to say that we could go ahead and separate them, so I think I will do that. Monday, roundabout or bridge. To be honest, we're pretty well stocked up on both of those now, thanks to the recent rearrangements. I'll go for roundabout. I don't think we'll use it, but... End of another week. Traffic lights or roundabout. I guess I'll go traffic lights, because I haven't in a while, but we don't really need any of this stuff right now, to be honest. The roads are kind of running themselves. I'm not having to intervene a lot. Just waiting for some of these surges to come through. Wondering if we might need to do any rearrangements. I've kind of put this like roundabout and light blue road in here just from watching these two tick up a bit every now and then, but they've not got near the danger zone, so I've not actually pulled the plug and moved the motorway and these houses onto the roundabout, but it could at some point help with the flow of traffic, but I'll just keep it there in reserve until I think it's necessary. Week 21, obviously we're going to go with the motorway. this point I could just start replacing normal roads with motorways just to help cars get to their destination faster. Like I'm looking at this red one and this red enclave, that can become a motorway potentially. Week 22, everything continues to move smoothly. These end of week rewards continue not to matter, so I'll just pick something random again. Maybe bridge. Realistically, we don't even have room on the map for many more roundabouts, so. And I think I will go ahead and just replace, let's pick a roundabout, meant to pick up a motorway to replace this longer road with a motorway. And again, the only tactic here is just increasing the speed with which those houses can now get to their destination. It's not super necessary, to be honest, but because I've got the spare motorway, I may as well use it. Week 23, I'm barely doing anything at this point, I'm just sat here, so, I'd say traffic lights. I am looking at this light blue tick up slightly faster than everything else, so I might go ahead and do my little roundabout rearrange now. I'm not 100% sure if it will be loads more efficient, but I'm willing to give it a try. Another week goes by and I will pick the traffic lights. Just drawn a little road for this blue to be used in an emergency. I think if I add him in, he'll probably interrupt the flow of traffic a bit, unless I turned the whole thing into a roundabout. Which I could do. Another week, roundabout or bridge. I'll go for a roundabout. Just moved that motorway to the left one so I could add in this house. To be honest, these tiny movements are just finessing things. I wouldn't call them necessary in the normal game. But just really trying to like fine tune those very small efficiencies of how many houses are connected and how efficiently they're getting to their destination. End of week 26, I'll go for a bridge. We are having a little bit of a red surge right now. Some of these are ticking up a fair amount, but This guy's still got a few cars at home, so I don't think he's struggling too much. This guy is often running out of cars at home, but they have such an efficient route to get to him that it's not causing too much of a problem. This circular red might end up being more of a problem. Week 27, pretty good achievement to be honest. The score is looking fairly high, but to be honest I didn't look at what the other scores were before I started this game, so maybe this is just a fairly high scoring challenge for all I know. Week 28. Week 29. Yep, go for a roundabout. Seeing a tiny bit of fine tuning I could do with this side to get that yellow in. Maybe these blues could come around there instead. Although actually they're still gonna have to cross over roads, so maybe that's not the best. Week 30. I'm really intrigued to see how far this can go at this point. We're kind of in the middle of a red surge at the moment. I was wondering if we might start to get one of our first timers. They're definitely getting closer to it. And this dark blue is the proud owner of our first timer. Pretty exciting. I might be able to solve most of that with a motorway instead of this bridge, just to make it a bit quicker across there. There are also a few spare blues kind of sitting at home up here, so they could potentially be drafted in. It's ticking up pretty quickly. We've been given a spare blue, that's nice. Yeah, maybe if we steal this guy. Oh, he's ticking up quite quickly now. Maybe this guy as well, and then we give them this. This blue is definitely ticking up a lot, but I've kind of given him as many houses as I probably can, so if he does kill us, I don't think I can be too mad at that. Now his sister is starting to complain at us as well. Can't see any spare dark blues on the map that I'm not using that I could be grouping in. Don't think so. Ooh, and we've got a yellow complaining as well. This could be the beginning of the end. Running up a traffic light might speed up the traffic a bit along here, but just adding in a few random traffic lights to see if it improves the flow of traffic, because I've got so many spare. I don't really know how helpful it is. We managed to make it to week 32. I have a feeling this could be our last week. And there we go. 11,000 commuters over 225 days. I have to believe we've done somewhat well. Let's have a look at the menu and see how we did on the scoreboard. We got 12th place, which puts us in the top 3% with a score of 11,203. So this is a very high scoring weekly challenge. So if you want to go ahead and play this weekly challenge to feel good about yourself, then I would encourage it. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you next Monday for more mini motorways.